An event in the outside world makes us understand deeper things about the world around us. In calm times, a lot of things seem bad. Cities function, people go to work, and everything goes on as usual in its normal way. But when there is tension, crisis, and something is actually happening in the outside world, an important question arises. What is it that actually keeps a system alive, stable, and growing? One very important point that we are really seeing right now in the UAE is that when a country is on the path of growth, it actually understands a very crucial principle. In difficult times, it thinks about the security and peace of its people. In fact, a stable system is formed when trust is established, and trust is always built in tough moments through the behaviors and decisions that governments make to support smaller systems in those situations, to create security and peace, and to lay a foundation of trust. And this trust means supporting, backing, accompanying, and empathizing in these difficult times, and actually providing a calm environment leads to a very important principle called the principle of loyalty. A principle where people trust their country, and this loyalty leads to growth and a series of commitments that flow through everyone living in this system. This commitment and loyalty continue, and this environment for growth keeps expanding day by day, turning into a country like the UAE, which reaches higher achievements and growth every single day. And this trust is not limited only to the nationality that belongs to the Emiratis themselves. What we are witnessing up close is that everyone who invests here, works here, and sees this country as a growing platform with a very promising future shares in this trust. In fact, this government both nurtures and supports this growth and environment, shows empathy, and stands alongside its people. This sense of responsibility and the presence of the government is evident in a developing system, and this phenomenon occurs throughout all the smaller structures as well. In businesses, in the flow of investments, and in the work that is being done, I can completely understand why this country has developed so quickly. Because in difficult circumstances, they focus on something very important, showing empathy, creating security, providing support, and ultimately building loyalty among all the people here. Loyalty to the commitment the government has to its people, and the loyalty the people have to their government because they feel supported. And if we bring this model and apply it even to smaller businesses, we'll see that, let's say, for example, in the field of beauty, if we bring it into the very subject of beauty that we ourselves are working on in our daily lives, what happens is that when a customer, especially regarding their beauty, entrusts it to us, the very first step is that they are placing their trust in us. Trust is truly revealed when the work faces difficult situations and tough decisions, and that's when we need to turn that trust into loyalty, be accountable, show empathy, and truly accept the outcome of the work we've done. We need to support that process so the customer can use it, enjoy it, and have their trust transformed into loyalty. And I think this is the greatest lesson that I am learning these days from this country, from this process, and from the kind of security that is being created here amid the regional instability within the hearts of all the people here, even those who have invested here, even small businesses. In my opinion, this lesson truly needs to be transferred from the government to small businesses, and this makes things harder for all businesses in a developing world, a world that is talking about an ideal future. Here, if you want to work, you have to deal with people who understand trust, who know loyalty, and who appreciate being supported. They have very high expectations of you, and you must also have high expectations of yourself so that you can grow alongside everyone else in this system and become part of this trust, commitment, loyalty, and the promising future. I am truly grateful to Dubai, to this country that in such difficult circumstances has managed to maintain all this order, all this beauty. This beauty even manages people's psychological and emotional states, because it has firmly decided to be the best and number one in the world. And to become number one in anything, you need support, building trust, loyalty, commitment, continuous work, and serious effort. I'm truly grateful to be living here. I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm becoming part of this country's future. As you know, we do extensions for 7 reasons. Extensions are for lengthening, adding volume. and therapeutic extensions that are only applied to damaged sections of hair. Extensions are also used to create color effects and change the style of the hair. If you have straight hair and want it to be curly, or vice versa, if you have curly hair and want straight hair, styling extensions. You see, for the different types of extensions you want to get, you need a really good, excellent, and experienced consultant. Someone experienced, trustworthy. This is a very important point. That means when they are recommending a product or a style to you, it should match your needs and be made from the best materials you can use. And they should have the knowledge to do the job and be skilled in its execution. In other words, they should be able to turn any idea they have into reality. Look, one of the most important products we have in the field of hair extensions, apart from adhesives, devices, laser machines, UV machines, and many other things, each of which I explain in detail in the content I create. But one of the most important products is the hair itself. In my opinion, if we want to have a truly perfect result, the hair must be properly trimmed, and as they say, the hair should have a completely uniform thickness from root to tip. In other words, the ends of the hair shouldn't become thin or taper off like a rat's tail. Because to achieve a very professional final look, we need thick hair ends. So pay close attention. In fact, the different prices we see for various types of hair are based on the quality grade of that hair. And an even more important issue is the color range of the hair. Look, when I set up a proper hair counter, my usual choice is to make sure that a customer can have a very accurate, complete, and 100% correct selection. That means at the hair counter where you are going to choose your hair, there absolutely must be all types of hair textures available. Because if we are going to use extensions to change the hair texture, we need all kinds of textures. There must be at least these colors available in 2 color spectrums, long undamaged colors in various high levels, and raw colors in different base shades. What does this mean? It means, let me tell you a very interesting little point that is usually very useful for colorists and for those who often work with extension hair color, or even for people who have hair extensions and want to entrust their hair to a colorist. Because in my opinion, hair extensions should be handled by someone who is extremely meticulous when it comes to the process of coloring hair. That is, when they are sectioning the hair, they should be very careful about how they separate it. That means they should be careful not to lose even a single strand of this hair. And even when it comes to attaching the extensions, they must be extremely careful not to cut this hair. Also, when it comes to coloring, they need to be very cautious to determine whether this hair can reach the desired color level. If it cannot, and we need to choose a natural hair, then we should select hair with a lighter pigment. Here we have the possibility to make these choices. But there is a very important point that I really learned from the UAE. From the management system of this country, from the events that have happened recently, from the support it gives its people, and from the way it governs the country. It was that in difficult situations, the support we provide and the security we create for our customers or our people is always crucial. And in fact, that we support the results of the work we have created ourselves. We show empathy and create loyalty. And this loyalty leads to an environment in which we grow. We all grow together and we can plan ahead. In these circumstances, it is extremely important that when we are trusted, we strengthen that trust within ourselves step by step. And let us not forget that commitment leads to trust, trust leads to loyalty, and loyalty leads to our growth. And let us not forget to stand behind the work we have created,